When I met with William at Genesis Clubhouse, I think one of the things that struck me as I was talking to him was a lesson that we all learn, or we should learn, if we haven't learned it yet, that we don't have a one-size-fits-all. People need choices. Sometimes a day treatment program will work for someone because it speaks to them in a certain way. Sometimes that doesn't speak to them at all. Sometimes it's just someone walking into your space and saying, there's a clubhouse in Worcester, we're going to help you find a job, and you click with that. So I think what I learned from my conversation with William was that we need to be careful that we don't think that one size fits all, and that at different times in your recovery, there may be different services that really connect to you in an important way. So we need to make sure that people have choices. So I think that I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our representatives and for their support of the mental health field. So I want to begin by telling you a little bit about my background and how I came to the clubhouse. So when I graduated high school, I did as many people my age did, and I went into college. And I went to community college, and I experienced success at first, but as I began to take on more classes and more responsibility, things just started to spiral. My anxiety increased and depression as well, and it got to the point where I just ended up in a very hopeless place, and that led me to a partial hospitalization program where I would be for about like 5 or 6 months. And while I was there, I experienced, while I was there, pardon me, let me go through my notes here. So while I was there, it helped me get to a place of stability, but also while I was there, there was this sense of like the emphasis being more on what's the greatest issue, what's the thing that's going to hold you back? You know, what is this it was more about diagnosis and, you know, weaknesses and what was wrong rather than what was right. Then one day, Genesis Club, I heard about these folks called Genesis Club coming on an outreach. So I decided to check it out, and I was really struck by just how they talked and what they talked about. So, you know, I was curious, and I decided to check them out. So I gave them a call, did a tour, went through orientation, and for a long I was going 5 days a week, you know, fully engaged in the clubhouse. And it was in this process of being there 5 days a week and fully engaging and getting to know people in my work unit that people began to see how much I was doing in the clubhouse and said, you know, you'd be good for this transitional employment job. So I just said, yeah, you know, I'll try that. So it was at that time, in 2013, I believe, that I started my first transitional employment position, working for Sodexo at UMass. However, this position didn't really work out, and after a month, I left that position. It was in that time that I returned to the clubhouse. I distinctly remember one of my placement managers at the time telling me something that I'll always remember. It was that don't let this failure, don't look at it as a failure. Just reiterate with the clubhouse, reintegrate with the clubhouse, and keep at it. So that's what I did. And I kept coming to the clubhouse, so I kept coming to the clubhouse and began to reintegrate there. So then I was in the clubhouse, and I decided after a while that I would give school another try. And so with the support of the clubhouse, I was able to go back to school for a time and experience some success. And but then it occurred to me that I wasn't really sure why I was going to school. I was going to school because I felt that's what I needed to do to get that degree so that so I could fit the mold or something. So after a few semesters, I finally came to a crossroads and decided that I was going to put my pursuit of a degree on the back burner and reevaluate my options. So what now? I remember thinking that. What now? And like what happened previously, I reintegrated with the clubhouse. I kept coming to the clubhouse and my usual 5 days a week and engaging in the work there. And while I was there, I remember, sometimes I would go and look at the Transitional Employment Board and see what was available. So then I finally decided to go for a position at Ed Care Hospital. And I was fortunate enough to be selected for that position. And after I was selected, I just dove right in and put one foot in front of the other. And before long, it was 9 months and I had finished it. I had completed my first transitional employment position. And with that completion, I had realized that, I can do this. I can go to work and I can be successful with the support of the clubhouse. So from there, I was fortunate enough to transition fairly quickly from that position to a new transitional employment position at the Worcester Art Museum, where I currently work now in their mailroom. So I just want to leave you with a little something that I wrote out. So I'm sure as you notice, the constant background of my story is the clubhouse and its support, the fact that it's always open and I was always there to come back to. Now, something that I really appreciate is what the clubhouse has offered me in terms of opportunities, in terms of not just beyond employment and education support, but in terms of giving me almost a new life, a new lease on life, and so many different opportunities of things that I really didn't think I would be able to do. Like for example, back in October, I had the opportunity to go with the Genesis Club to the International Clubhouse Seminar in Denver and share some of my story there. And I'm so thankful for what the clubhouse has given me. Like I said, they've given me a new life. And I'm just so thankful for that because it really has changed the direction of my life. Thank you.